James Mathers. I'm at Cinegear 2015, Cinegear Expo. And I've got Andrew Maltz here, Andy Maltz. He's the Managing Director of the Science and Technology Council for the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. Did I get all that right?
You got it all right. It's nice to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
What do you do at the Science and Technology Council?
So my job is to wrangle the Academy's and science work. So we pay attention to the last word in the Academy's name. So that means everything related to technology history, current activities in technology, education, both for the public and for professionals. And then we do a lot of advanced technology and research work, and that's where projects like the Academy Color Encoding System come into play. We do a lot of work with solid-state lighting. So from the move from tungsten-based lighting to LED and other solid-state lighting technologies, the whole balance of our system had changed because the spectral power distributions, if I can get a little technical, of these solid-state lighting devices is completely different than daylight or tungsten or fluorescent that we understand how to use. So we've done a lot of work unpacking what the issues are. We produce some research tools, something called the Academy Color Predictor, which is a free iPhone, iPad app that lets cinematographers get some predictability back into color reproduction with these new light sources. So that's one area that we work in. We also do a lot of work in digital preservation or preservation of movies that are finished digitally. We've published two reports, the Digital Dilemma 1 and the Digital Dilemma 2, that outlines the issues of preserving digital motion pictures for the long term. As I'm sure you know, it's a lot harder to keep those bits around for a long time than it is for film.
Where do you put it all?
Exactly, and it's more expensive and it's just more complicated. And then, of course, there's the Academy Color Encoding System, or ACES.
That's what I've been hearing a lot about lately. Well, what is the function of that?
So ACES is all about three things. It's about color management, it's about digital image interchange, and long-term archiving of digital motion pictures. So if you think about it in terms of what we used to have with film, we had standardized infrastructure. SMPTE had a lot of standards around film, aperture, sprocket size, even reel cores were standardized. And the color reproduction, capture and reproduction aspects of the film system were, we'll say, de facto standardized by Kodak, Fujifilm, AGFA. You as a cinematographer and the labs and everyone involved in the imaging chain knew what they were getting. The spectral curves, response curves of the film were published. Well, when we moved away from film to digital, yes, we got all these great new benefits, all these great tools, all this flexibility, and we completely lost the standardized infrastructure that we had previously.
So film has had 100 years to come up with these standards, but now it's like the Wild West with digital. It's all happening so quickly.
That's right. So anyone with a computer and a little knowledge of programming can essentially invent their own imaging chain. And that's largely what happened. You've heard the term snowflake workflows, right? So every workflow for every movie can and usually is different. And at the end of the movie, just like a snowflake, it evaporates and goes away, or it turns to mush, right? So the idea behind ACES is to get rid of this variability and essentially the laboratory function, the digital laboratory function, and the energy that goes into movie making, and television shows for that matter. Rather than recreating the lab with every production, you can take that energy and put it into the creative aspects of your production.
So what does that mean to a cinematographer like myself?
Well, it means your light meter will work again. All right? Instead of some of these legacy workflows where you have to run into the video village or go to the tent and look at the monitor, you can light by eye again. It brings that kind of predictability. ACES brings that kind of predictability back to production for a cinematographer. The choices you make on set for look management, the ASC CDL values that you set on the set, ACES nails down the transportability of those numbers into the DI suite. So the look you determine on set is transportable and portable to the DI facility, and it also predictably, reliably goes into editorial and the visual effects.
And visual effects are so many happening, and it's a lot of different houses all around the world sometimes. So now they're all speaking the same language. Is that essentially how it works in visual effects?
That's exactly how it works in visual effects. Everybody is using the same set of calibrations. They're using the same viewing transforms that are, meaning the show LUTs, if you will, for the display technology that they are using in their facility, for the viewing environment in those facilities. All of those pieces come with ACES as a system. You don't have to do invention for every new show.
So I've been hearing about this for a number of years, but you just published ACES 1.0?
That's right. So ACES as a concept and a project has actually been in development for a little more than 10 years.
Wow, 10 years.
So there were a number of pre-release versions that we put out to get some field experience where the engineers and the color scientists and the practitioners said, this is what we think we need, and we built that, and we put that out in the field starting around 2011. About 3 years of field experience, and we took all of that experience and knowledge and adapted, updated the system, and completed version 1 of the system. So you could actually argue that version 1, ACES 1.0, is actually version 4. Right?
But calling it 1.0 might suggest that there's going to be a 2.0 someday.
That's likely.
So it's still developing?
Yeah, and in fact, we have developed a versioning system within ACES. The expectation is that the system will grow. There won't be a version 2 for a while, and so we're staying with version 1 and getting some experience and adoption with that, and we'll take what we learned from that and build it into version 2.
It must be a big part of your job to get everybody to sign on to the program. Camera manufacturers, post-production houses, everybody needs to use this if it's going to be of value.
That's right. So the adoption effort is something that the Academy has taken the lead on. It's a very difficult thing to change how people work. People get comfortable with their own workflows. In this industry, there's not a lot of risk-taking from a technical side. From a creative side, you want risk-taking. That's how you get some of these brilliant movies and television shows. But we have to change essentially the behavior of the industry from all these independent snowflake, roll your own workflows to a standardized platform. So we've done a number of things in that regard. Probably the biggest thing we've done is we've created something called the ACES Logo Program. It's designed to communicate to filmmakers that an ACES logoed product will provide a predictable and consistent color management experience. Okay, it doesn't mean it'll solve all your problems for you. It just means if you start with equipment that has the ACES logo, you'll know what you're getting. Very clear specifications from the Academy on that. So equipment manufacturers that want to achieve the ACES logo, earn the ACES logo, they have to do some very specific technical things, ranging from how they present ACES settings in the user interface, to implementation of the key transforms, to implementation of working color spaces. But it's all very, very specific across a number of product categories.
No secret sauce, or at least they put their secret sauce on top of standard.
That's right. So there's no need for secret sauce in a color management system. Now, do you want custom looks? Absolutely. And there are structures within the ACES system to enable custom looks. If you want something proprietary, that's fine. But if there's anything proprietary that's going to go into the archive, whoever's providing this proprietary transform has to provide the information you, the filmmaker, need to recover your creative intent, and ACES provides the framework for that.
So we're all speaking the same language.
That's right.
Where can somebody find out more information?
So we have a website and a Twitter feed, and we'll be creating a YouTube channel with videos, but the place to start is oscars.org/ACES.
Well, thank you very much, Andy. Really appreciate it.
You're welcome.